Stephen, Carla, hard time is a bit of an understatement for the folks that live in the neighborhood just behind me. And as you can see now, things are all quiet, but that was not the case just earlier today. Kristen, we're standing at the corner of William J. Bryan and Main Street here in downtown Bryan. The Edges building with Halo Bar inside actually caught fire early this morning, like you said. I'm going to step out of the shot so you can kind of see exactly what's going on behind me. Just before 8 o'clock this morning, we're told that a semi-truck somehow hit a person in the parking lot. Again, this is at the Love's Truck Stop in Hearn. Someone a bit different at Aggieland Chiropractic waiting to greet patients as they come through the door. Meet Cora. She's an average dog at first glance until you see how she gets around. She's got a few issues.
I think she has something related to a condition called osteogenesis imperfecta, which is also known as the brittle bone disease.
Most dogs that get the disease are put down, but for the past 9 weeks, she's had chiropractor Carly Newbern on her side, who just couldn't let that happen. She doesn't put in this kind of time with just any of her patients, but then again, Cora is different.
She doesn't feel sorry for herself. She always gives everything, and she wants to get better. And everybody sees that, so she's just special.
While her collar may suggest something about her special abilities, this sweet girl is anything but limited.
There's something big planned for her. The more I saw her interact with the children, the more I started thinking. So we decided to take her now as a therapy dog to Shriners Children's Hospital, or any children's hospital.
But to get Cora to that point, there's still work to be done, and Dr. Carly can't do it alone.
I didn't think she was ever going to be able to fully functioning walk, but she surprised me, so she may be, if we get those knees fixed, she may be able to.
Outside of swimming to build her muscles, Cora needs surgery so she can continue to inspire others.
She's going to do something special. I know it. She's going to write the book and touch a lot of kids.
Everyone has their favorite brew.
I'm a vice versa. I like fruity stuff.
For founders Chuck Robertson and Ken Goodman, the choice is a little more personal.
Wow. I don't know if I could actually nail down one.
The one in my hand.
Carbot Brewery opened in Houston in 2011.
Nothing makes me smile greater than watching somebody take a drink of our beer and smile and go, that is really good beer.
Craft beer is growing so much. If you're not embracing the craft beer culture, you're losing out on a big portion of your customer base.
Rob Worrell is the GM of Fox and Hound in College Station. He insists on serving Karbach brews at his bar.
It's a good beer. It's a quality beer. It really is. Like from the naming of their beers all the way down to the actual beer. I mean, it's just a quality product. It says something about ownership and what they're passionate about.
It takes a real can-do attitude to develop Karbach's unique brand.
Going to school at Texas A&M, you really feel that tradition. You feel, it's not just something that you see or hear about. You really do feel it, and I think that's, what we have here in the Karbach family as well. A feeling of taking care of one another and growing a business from within.
For Chuck and Ken, though, it all goes back to having fun.
Little did I know that one of the things I really enjoyed doing in college would lead me into the beer business to make a living.
I don't think there's any great formula here. I think it's just the perfect storm that has come together for us.
With the rising popularity of craft beer, it's an ever-increasing challenge to create a unique product.
We diligently go about that process to the point that Chuck's gone bald and I've gotten wrinkled and gray.
Still, though,
the day this isn't fun is the day we'll quit.
If you or your kids have ever had head lice before, you know how frustrating it can be.
It affects your whole life.
Heidi Evge went through the struggle when she discovered her daughter Grace had the bugs.
The first thing is you run out the door and you go to the grocery store to get the products to treat it.
For 2 weeks, she tried desperately to find some kind of relief.
I did the standard treatment in the box. I did essential oils. I called all my friends that I knew who had it and asked them every question in the book to get rid of it.
But she was out of options.
Thankfully, for parents that are dealing with lice that have already done the traditional shampoos and prescriptions that cost a lot of money and might not work anyway, there's an easier option.
It's called the Aerolay hose and works by blowing targeted hot air, drying the scalp because lice can't live in dry environments.
These bugs have developed a resistance to a lot of these pesticides and chemicals. So you don't always kill them all.
But chemical-resistant lice just can't stand the heat.
If I miss a couple of eggs, it's not that big of a deal because they're dead. Whereas any other product that you use, you miss a couple of eggs, you have a male and a female, and you're going to start all over again.
Sonia Watt runs Knit Knot in Bryan, and she says it takes just one treatment with Aerolay and a shampoo to get rid of the dead lice.
When you walk out the door, you literally, other than cleaning the house, are done with lice.
I was a bit skeptical.
Heidi knew it was an investment up front, But now,
I'm actually not concerned about lice anymore because I know that they can be, it can be taken care of. Unless you want to deal with recurrences, you're welcome to do that, but it's worth every penny.
in Bryan,
My son I can save today.
Kessler McLaughlin, News 3.
And of course, keep our lawns healthy.
But how much water we're using might surprise you.
The summertime heat is scorching lawns and vegetation across the Brazos Valley. College Station is setting water use records, pumping over 25 million gallons of water a day, double what we used this time a month ago.
We just dropped these in, so we've got some leaf drop.
Carl Goldap has lived in the same house in College Station since 1978.
We were watering a couple times, 3 times at least a week.
He knows all too well what it takes just to keep his lawn healthy in scorching temps.
I was mowing during the growth season when I really was fertilizing well, etc. I was mowing anywhere from 1 to 2 times a week.
When we have people watering every day, if we have fires and if we have water line breaks, then all those things combine together to create an emergency.
The city of College Station can handle normal water use on a normal day. So let's say this water hose here represents that normal infrastructure. And each puncture represents a user. Too many punctures or users, and the end of the line is useless for emergencies.
In that case, they would reach out to other cities for help.
And we need to conserve that groundwater for future generations.
Goldap took steps a while back to conserve.
We're probably using 25%, a third of what we used to.
Instead of a more traditional sprinkler system several times a week, he mostly uses drip hoses once a week.
If you want to do it economically, you do it a little at a time. The older you get, the less time you want to spend mowing the grass or lugging around the fertilizer, pushing that mower. You know, you want something that you can spend less time doing. You have the time to spend with your children, and then when you get older, you have the time to spend with your grandchildren.
I wasn't too sure if it was safe to cross, so I decided to get out of my truck and take video of it.
Victor Orozco saw water rushing under Pin Oak Drive Wednesday morning.
As I got closer to it and noticed that the road was starting to wash out even more.
That's when he knew there was trouble.
I'm stuck. There it goes, there it goes. I caught it. I caught it.
I started backing up, man. The whole road, boom, it just started caving in.
This was the road Wednesday afternoon before crews could fix it. Impassable, which is why we had to interview Orozco over the phone. And now, the cleanup. Once the water went down enough, Burleson County officials spent the rest of Wednesday fixing the mess.
Well, we're going to have to haul a lot of filled dirt in to start with and cover up the pipe and then put some rock on top of it. It's going to be a pretty good long process.
Before repairs were made, getting to work or school wasn't happening. But at least they had a good excuse.
I called in today and let them know what was going on. Actually, I sent them the video as well. That way I have proof.
And back out here live, I'll take a step out of the shot so you can see some of that fill dirt that they were talking about in that story. It is now in place, but because of the threat of more rainfall tonight, crews have just left it as is, so it is safe for residents to pass here on Pin Oak Drive. We want to update you on the big story out of Anderson this evening. An auto auction was shut down and 3 people have been arrested. The 23-year-old will serve 15 years in prison for arson after he admitted to setting Charles Workman's car on fire in 2012. But as News 3's Patrina Adger reports, Workman's family believes the real killer is still out there. Arson is a non-aggravated charge, so Godfrey will be eligible for parole once he serves 1/6 of his term. Godfrey's attorney, though, says he already served 3 years, so he should be eligible for parole right now.